Okay, first off, you're going to get a note page, and it's pretty simple. There's just blanks. Fill in the blank with this slide. It gets straight up, fill in the notes, like fill in the blank. There's a spot, like right here. The line's all the way down. I apologize. It's my computer. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, so how many of you know what cognitive is? If you do, raise your
Or you
hand.
have any idea of what it could mean?
Candace?
Does it have to do with time? Because like the guy from Beauty and the Beast is one like cognitive or something.
Not exactly.
Does
Is
anyone
anybody
else?
else?
Is it like learning or like memory or something different?
It's a brain. Exactly. It's
Yeah, it's the brain-based skills.
And there are 4 stages of the cognitive development, and so we're going to be discussing that with you today. And these are my nephews, and then that's just some random person or some random picture right there.
Okay, so stage 1 is the sensory motor, and then it's from age birth through 2 years old. During this stage, children learn through their senses, and then, which basically means, I'm pretty sure we all know what our senses are, so I don't think I need to go over that. They encounter new objects, they see it, smell it, hear it, touch it, put it in their mouths.
Which is basically like your senses. So.
Yeah. And then schema is mental representations or ideas about what things are. So say if you have an orange, so whenever you think about an orange, what do you think?
A round orange thing.
So like you could say it's sour, it's juicy, it's orange, it's round. That's basically what a schema is.
Schema.
Schema.
Never say it right.
Object permanence is when the child knows objects exist without seeing it. So example, a ball being hidden under the table.
Like if you show them the ball and you put it underneath, they still know that ball's there. They just can't see. And then that's my niece and my nephew, and then some really cute little girl that I saw moving it. Stage 2 is the pre-op. Oh, you guys can go back to fill in the blank.
No, we're good.
Okay.
Oh.
I should probably move this out. Did you miss a fill in the blank?
Yeah, I missed the last one. Oh,
It's
sing.
singing. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll slow down.
I'm really thirsty.
Alright, you guys good?
Yeah.
Okay. Stage 2 is the pre-operational stage, and that's ages 2 through 6. Language development, so they start talking and learning new words. The child relies on intuition or what seems right. So an example is like a child will choose a nickel over a dime because it seems bigger, just like when you look at them, it's bigger. Or they'll pick 5 pennies over 1 dime because there's more pennies than dimes, so it's just like what seems right they will pick. And the egocentric is like seeing the world in terms of themselves, and they believe that everyone should see it the same way. Like if you have nieces or nephews or little kids, like if you tell them something, they're like, no, it has to be this way, or no, that's wrong, it's this. That's just how they develop.
OCD.
Yeah. Children can answer what questions, but not why. And they can pretend and engage in creative play.
So basically what that means is that even if something's not real, they can have like imaginary friend that they're playing with, but even though they're not there.
Yeah, they can create things in their minds.
Let's stay on this slide for just a second. So
Mm-hmm.
in the example with replies on intuition or what seems right,
Yes.
if you were to say to a child, which one would you choose, the nickel or the dime?
They would
They're
choose the
gonna
bigger one.
choose, or which one is more,
Yeah.
or which, you know what I mean? They have no value, they have no sense of value. So if you present them with 5 pennies or 1 dime, again, they have no sense of value. They're going to choose the one in their mind that seems, quote, more, unquote.
Yeah.
The egocentric, another good example would be like, I think I shared this where Charlie says, the sun is looking at me, okay? The sun is not looking at you. We know the sun rises and all that, but when that child is in that pre-operational stage, everything becomes about them. The sun is not merely out there for everybody's enjoyment. It doesn't necessarily rise. It's because it's looking at me. Question, Jamie.
What if you told the child that like the dime is worth more and then the pennies are like worth less? Would they still know, or?
They would kind of argue with you, saying because they see in their view that 5 pennies is more than 1 dime, so they'll say no, that's not right. It should be this.
They don't know like the value of it.
Yeah.
They just see which one to them is more.
And remember, this is still in that 2 to 6 year range.
They're young.
Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of goes back to they believe everyone should share their same view. So if you say no, a dime is worth more than 5 pennies, they'll be like, no.
Well, if there's more pennies.
Well, yeah.
Good question.
One dime, but I'll be 5 of these. So they understand that, or no?
Probably not. They understand it more like if you're like, okay, so you have 1 dime and 5 pennies, and you tell them this dime is worth more. They'll be like, but there's more pennies. Like, why is there so many pennies and only 1 dime, but the dime is more?
They're not going to be able to process that. We're talking here about the end of kindergarten year.
Mhm.
They haven't quite processed the money thing yet.
Probably. Candace.
It's really funny because like my nephew, he'll ask me like every 5 seconds about stuff. He'll be like, why? But when I ask him why, he never answers.
They don't know. They don't. Yeah.
He doesn't understand what it means.
Same with my nephews and nieces. If I ask them why, they're like, and they just kind of avoid the question.
Yeah, they don't. He just doesn't say anything.
Mhm.
It's really funny.
Well, ready? Are you guys ready, or do you need just a few more seconds? Okay. And this is the same thing. It's just another page. They learn that drawings and words stand for something. So, like, if you show them a picture of a dog, they know that that is a dog. They usually focus on one problem or communication at one time. So, for an example, is like a child would say, "I don't live in the United States. I live in Arizona." So they don't think of the big picture. They think of like the main idea. Another example is like when their mom says, "Your father's my husband." They're like, "He's my dad." They don't focus on the "he's my husband" part. They just know he's my father. So it's like one focus. And then they're capable of classification, so organization, grouping, categorizing, like colors and stuff. And then these are like random children.
I'm like 1910 up there.
I thought it was a cool picture.
Looks like he's in a bar.
Okay, so stage 3 is the concrete operational age, and it's from ages 7 to 11. The thought process becomes more mature and adult-like, so before then they don't really know the thought process, but during this time they're starting to think like teenagers and adults. And then they have the same recognition that physical
They have the recognition.
They have the recognition that physical properties remain the same regardless of changes in their outward appearance.
So like a ball, even though at first it was red, but then it turned blue. Like even though it's blue on the outside, it's still a ball. Like they still like make the connection of what it is, even if like the outward appearance changes.
What other examples could you guys think that would fall under there? So it says, they recognize that physical properties remain the same regardless of changes in their outward appearance.
Cars.
So, if like their mom was to get pregnant or something, they would still know that it's their mom, even though her appearance may have
That's a
changed.
good one. That's a good one. Okay. All right, that's a good one. Go ahead.
What
What
if
if like their hair changes?
Yeah, they would still know that it's your hair. So like if
Yeah.
I came in and dyed my hair, my grade, yeah, they're around 7. They would still know that it's my hair.
That it's, or that it's
That's
still,
me.
or that she's still Kimmy.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wouldn't like think I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
I know like little kids think that their hair is brown when it's wet.
Okay.
Have you ever heard that? It's so funny.
All right. That's a picture of me and my friends at Six Flags and Allison. She's in there. And then Demi Lovato and some.
Oh, I see Allison.
There's only 2
We were
girls in
soaking
there.
wet, just so you all know.
So.
So. Stage 4 is the formal operations, and that's age 12 to the older years. They have the stage of abstract reasoning, and they can do inductive and deductive reasoning from hypothetical situations. They can answer how questions and why questions now instead of just what. And they can actually think about thinking. So like when a teacher asks you, what do you think about this, they can like
Process.
And then
Are you guys going to talk about those different things?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
on the next slide.
Perfect.
Just it wouldn't fit on one side unless I made it like that big. That was like the
For
camera.
those of you that are here, if you're ever wondering what we do when we have our Tuesday lessons, this is what they do. They're getting geared up to take the CT assessment, so we're reviewing concepts that they've learned or maybe not learned, and then one way that you can assess what kids know is if kids can turn around and explain it to somebody else. Okay, so this is when you're out doing that extra field experience, this is what teacher prep is doing.
Yeah. Okay. This is just a continuation. So these are the 5 cognitive processes a formal operational thinker can do better than a concrete. Logical is logical reasoning, it should say, for no reasoning. It's like if you say the dog is vicious and Bella's a dog, then Bella is vicious. So it's like you make the assumption. Abstract reasoning, it's like considering a variety of possibilities. Hypothetical reasoning are what ifs or what could happen. Extended thinking is if I have sex and I get pregnant, have to drop out of school, not go to college, and not be able to get a job. So it's like if you do one mistake and then they think of like everything else that could go wrong.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a chain reaction that happens.
Yes. And then projective thinking. Once I've completed high school, I'm going to college. So it's like once you've done something, you move on. That's the example in the book. The metacognitive thinking. It's being aware of one's thinking process. And then reflecting thinking is like reflecting upon and learning from actions and experiences. It's like when you read a story and your teacher's like, reflect on this. You're bringing back what you had just learned, which brings us to our next thing. We want you guys to
Go back a little bit, because that was a lot of information on that slide.
well, it's on their paper. There's not a like fill in the blank. It's just right there.
I wanted to just touch base real quick. So the 5 cognitive processes would be logical, abstract, hypothetical. Is that the 5? Because there's more than 5 there. What is that?
There's 7.
4, 5, 6, 7. It said 5 on the top, and it gave us 7.
Yeah.
Well, which is why I'm wondering if the first 5 are there.
They shouldn't play.
I think.
We'll take a look and we'll clarify if we need to.
Okay. It might either be the first
Oh, yeah.
2 or the last 2 that are.
Yeah.
But they were all underneath that same.
Okay, we'll take a look at it.
All right. So reflective thinking. You guys are going to have a little quiz. Don't freak out. It's not that bad.
Go ahead and put your notes away, and then put your folder up.
I already forgot.
Just have them spread out.
Oh,
Or spread out.
Spread out.
I'm not moving. I'm not moving either.
Not moving.
You have to. Because I said it first.
No, cannot.
And my folder's up.
Honestly, there's really nothing you can cheat on. But put your folders up.
Okay, because